Hello everybody, we are here with a timeless reading. Before we get started, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. Okay, I'm definitely seeing some feelings of fear that can be coming up, and it has to do with like fear of criticism, like what are other people going to think, what are other people going to say, how are other people going to respond. And also this comes back to maybe like judgment or lack of acceptance towards self, because something is definitely triggering this for you, and it can be bringing up feelings that are associated with past trauma, because this is like a learned response that you would be having. And I'm seeing your guides be like, you need to hold the light here, like you need to keep going through with what you want to go through with and not allow this to change your course of action, because if you do, it's basically like this. When you want to do something and you start feeling feelings of fear, you have one of two options, maybe more, but we're going to talk about the two options that I'm seeing here that feel very relevant. You can either look at that and hold yourself back and say, you know what, I'm going to be motivated by fear and I'm not going to do this thing that I wanted to do because I'm scared of being vulnerable and the pressure's too much, and so I'm just not ready to like come out in that way. And that's okay. And then you also have another option. There's no right or wrong here, okay? We're just talking about things. We're just talking about stuff happening. The other way that you can do things is to be like, I understand that I'm feeling scared right now. I understand that this is bringing up fear for me. I understand that this is feeling triggering, and that like when I was younger and I spoke in front of the class, like everybody laughed at me, or like I tripped in front of everybody, like whatever this is that you have that's associated with this fear of putting yourself out there and being vulnerable. So you can acknowledge those feelings that you're having. You can be receptive to how it is that you're feeling and be like, yes, I do feel scared and I'm going to do it anyway. Those are your two options. You can choose to be motivated by fear, or you can choose to be motivated by empowerment. And you get to choose which side of that you're on. Which polarity, because they are polarities. You may be getting a bit of a download. I'm seeing information be coming to you. Be mindful of where you're taking information in from. Make sure that it's resonating within you, how you want it to be resonating and connecting. It's like this, right? You can have two people talking about the same event, and the person that's like in the more like negative energy can be like, this is going to be so like horrible and blah blah blah, and it's very like fear driven and can be manipulative in that way, even if the person isn't aware of it. Or you can have somebody that's in the polarity of being like, it's going to be new, and that means it's going to be exciting, and we're going to see how things are, and it's going to be like a shared experience that all of us have that instills hope and excitement and a sense of peace, and we're going to be okay even if we haven't experienced this before, stuff like that. So be mindful of who you're getting your information from and how you're feeling when you receive that, who you're speaking to, who's giving you answers, because you want to make sure that it's resonating with you. Because I'm seeing people come through. I don't know if this is just a person or this is multiple people wanting to be like, I have something to say, I have something to say, I have something to say. But you may not be into this. And this can also be you being like, I know I could interject here, but that's actually none of my business, and I'm not going to do that. And you could also just be like, I'm not open to opinions right now. I'm not taking any opinions. But yeah, there can be somebody coming through wanting to talk to you and you're not feeling this, but the fact The fact that you're not feeling this may be creating some sort of conflict. It's like somebody's coming through, but you're not really into this. And because you're not into this, you may feel, I don't know, like guilty for not being into it, but it is what it is. You know, you're just feeling how you're feeling. You may feel like there's kind of like drama that's involved with whoever this is that's coming through. When I say that too, like it doesn't just have to be a person. It can be like you're trying to ground your energy and you put on the TV and like the way that somebody's talking, it's like it feels like frazzling to you in some way, and so you like change the channel, you know. It doesn't just have to be a person. And I mean, this can also be like changing the channel, changing the frequency within a conversation as well. But yeah, I'm seeing something get kicked up here. So just know that when we talk about like somebody coming through saying something, it doesn't always have to be a person. It can just be any sort of like frequency or energy or entity around you that is trying to interact with you, that you're like, I don't like the vibe of this. Like something's not resonating with you from a heart space. But I'm seeing you feel maybe a bit conflicted because like maybe you feel for that energy and maybe want to be open to it, but you're just not. But you may feel like you need to protect yourself here so you can stay open. It just feels like being mindful of what you're intaking. And that some people may, I don't know, talk in a way like they're speaking the truth, and you just want to be mindful of what you're really taking on as your own. Yeah, there's something here about like something that you view, hear, see, intake, that, I don't know, it may strike something within you that makes you feel like pushed away from it. And I'm seeing something here coming up about someone from the past. We're going to get more specific with this. This can be feeling... Okay. Somebody's coming through, right, because they want to connect with you, but you may not want to connect with them, but the part of you that's like, oh, but we have history together, may be feeling guilty that you don't vibe with this person. It's something like that. It's something like because you know them or because you've had experiences with them, like they may be coming through, but you're like, just something about this person's vibe does not resonate with you. I don't know if it's what they're saying or it's how they're saying it or what it is. But there's just something here that you want to pay attention to it. Something's out of alignment. I'm seeing this person actively pursuing you. You know that it doesn't resonate with you, but you feel conflicted. I do get a guilty feeling, but you feel conflicted because you have history with this person. But if this were just a stranger coming through, you'd be like, but because I guess you know them, that maybe is changing things for you. But that can also be something to look at more closely. Okay, I'm seeing like more about your history with this person. Yeah, no, you want to politely decline. I'm seeing your guides be like, do not act up when this person comes through. You just want to keep it together and just be like very level. Like almost like you don't even need to let them know that you maybe feel conflicted about saying no to them or being like, hey, I'm not really into this idea of yours. Because what I'm seeing is that your guides are saying that you already got the intuitive message and that body reaction feeling in your gut saying, I'm not into this. So you already got the sign. So everything that's coming after is just coming up from the ego and from the shadow space. So even though you perceive yourself as being like very empathetic, you know, and you have history with this person, so you should act like this or like that, your guides are saying, do not project that onto this person and this situation, that this is for you with your masculine and feminine polarity of water energy for you to work out between you and yourself. Because your intuition already told you this is out of alignment for you. So you already have the answer here. Now it's about working out how to be okay with that, how to get right with that. This person may want to come through and like work things out with you. I'm seeing this be somebody that you know for sure. Because your history is playing an important part in this, but maybe not in the way that you think. Because at first you could have been like, oh, well, we have history, so that means yes. But I'm seeing your guides be like, this means you can have history and still say no. Like that sort of thing. Like we don't need to allow the past to determine how we're acting now, currently, because you already know now, currently, the feeling that you got. And so you're meant to be paying attention to that. That doesn't mean that this is going to be easy. I'm over here reading in an objective way where it's going to sound very simplified, but you're having like real human emotions here about your connection with this person and how things were in the past and how you're attached to them because of this and how you feel like a motherly figure or a fatherly figure or some type of figure towards this person. You feel nurturing. I'm getting like actually you and your feminine water energy, so you would feel more nurturing towards this person, but I'm seeing your guides be like, you need to balance out your feminine and your masculine water energy, which means knowing when to be receptive versus knowing when to be observant, when to be responsive, when to be observant, when you don't need to take action, when you need to be balancing both of those energies, when you need to be putting first your intuition and the feelings that you're getting, rather than feeling like you need to sacrifice or martyr yourself because you care for this person and throwing yourself under the bus and your intuition under the bus and being like, la la la, I didn't hear you, that type of thing. Because you already know what it is, but it may not be easy for you to actually act on that because you may people please, you know? You may not want to hear what this person is going to say, or maybe you don't want to hurt their feelings, you know, because you're still learning how to be responsible for your own, not responsible for other people's feelings. So this is about teaching you how to step into your masculine water energy in that way, which it's always going to be a balance. We all have feminine, we all have masculine. It works much better when we learn how to work them together, because they're just two different sides of the same coin. And when you favor one, you become out of balance, and that's where issues happen, like what's starting to happen here. And this is a time for you to correct that. Because basically, like, let's do a little flash forward here. You end up carrying something on with this person out of pity or out of a lack of you showing up for yourself, or whatever your reason may be, whatever the excuse is for not listening to what your intuition is telling you. And then you end up in a situation where you're like, oh, now I spent all this time, like, how do I get out of this? I'm miserable, like, every single day that we have to interact, all of that. And it's like, this could have easily been avoided because your future self came to you in the form of your intuition in this moment saying, hey, you're not going to be into this, don't do it. And you wanted to ignore it. Or you thought other reasons were more important. And so you were like, okay, I'm getting that feeling and I'm getting that sign, but I'm still going to make this decision anyway because it's easier to fall back into old patterns. And then that's where you get stuck. And then another situation like this is going to come around and you're going to have to do the same thing. So why not just do it now and take care of it? Like, create a new cycle, create a new pattern for yourself. Or if you don't, it's okay. You're just going to repeat a karmic cycle, which it is what it is. There's no good, there's no bad, there's no right, there's no wrong. It's just things happening and you doing things and you learning things and you figuring things out and learning how to move and flow and what that looks like for you specifically and what those signs sound like and becoming aware. of the communication between you and you. There may be very important reasons that have to do with your morals and your values for why you don't want this person around. Something that would feel like a bit of a sticking point for you. There may have been something, I don't know, there's just something here about the types of relationships that you want and how this person, especially how they acted in the past, did not align with that. And it does seem like this person is actually still in the same frequency, and subconsciously you know this, but there can be a part of you that, again, may have a tendency to fall back into old patterns. But I'm seeing your guides be like, do not allow the fact that you had history with this person to determine whether or not you let them back in. Pay attention to how you're feeling, and your feeling is gonna be a no for you, dog. That's what I'm seeing here. That's what this Four of Cups is all about. And the sooner that you pay attention to this, because I'm telling you, like, the feeling that you get in your gut when something happens, you want to pay attention to it, because all those other feelings after are your brain coming through, and that's not how you want to. You want to be relying on your intuition. It's never, ever, ever going to steer you wrong. And you had this feeling, I'm getting like a ping, like right in the beginning when this happened. Like as soon as you heard from this person, as soon as they came through, as soon as they suggested this idea that would further like braid you guys, your energies into one another's, you were like, I don't like that. Something about it just really didn't resonate with you. You're being guided to pay attention to it because that is the right feeling. Like that is truly what you're getting at your core. And these other things that are coming up, creating conflict for you, it's based off of, imbalanced water energy, that this is an opportunity for you to balance. Because I'm telling you, if you end up taking things on with this person, which it is what it is if you do, like there's no shame about like any sort of decision that you make. There's no judgment. I'm just telling you where things are going to go if you do this or that. If you do end up taking this on, it's because of an unhealed water energy within you. It's something that you're meant to be taking on yourself and taking responsibility for. That it may be easier. I'm hearing to slackline back into this. So just something to be mindful of. It seems too like your relationship with this person, it was meant to teach you about your values, and you may have found out that in the past, based off of how this person treated you, you have different values than them, and so this is about you maintaining that and holding that. Because for some of you, something happened with this person where you felt maybe like they crossed the line or were disrespectful in some sort of way. I don't want to get into the details of that because it's really not what this is about. What's important about this is your integrity, and this is about like your morals, and this is about what type of frequency you want to be around and like this person's energy, and it's about listening to your intuition. Because honestly at this point, like, it doesn't even matter the reason. The thing that's being highlighted more than anything else, because I'm getting like a bunch of different situations here, and I actually like don't even want to go down that road. All I want to say is that we could have cut this off at 2 cards, just saying when this person comes through, saying, I want to work this out, or I want to work with you on this, or whatever, you feel this immediate feeling of that's not resonating with me, and that's all you need to pay attention to now, and figure out how to align your actions and your behavior with that feeling of your intuition to make them mirror one another. But yeah, this part of you, this may be bringing something forward within you that has a hard time being direct and saying how you feel with your chest out, and this is the opportunity for you to do so while not closing your heart off, by not dismissing this, by not saying something like angry towards this person. It's being able to hold space and be like, no, that doesn't resonate with me. I don't want to do that, you know, and still being able to do it from a loving space. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.